Last week we discovered that the world, as we know it, has sort of ceased to exist. The natural world has struck back against humanity and wiped most of humanity off the face of the earth. Since then, which was about 60 years ago. And number 8, Bash, thank you so much. Bash coming in hot with the 3 bits for each player. Thank you so much. The 3 karma. Thanks, Bash. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, so and that was about 60 years ago, and since then people have been awakening from deep slumbers in this strange kind of Garden of Eden called Greenhold. And the people, every year new people arrive, are born in these cocoons under this tree, and are dug out by the people, and there's this sort of very rural British folk kind of community that has arisen. They have a root witch who kind of guides them in rituals and things like that, and they worship nature, and they are basically trying to rebuild the world in this Greenhold. And every year the Greenhold grows a little bit and reclaims some of the withered land outside. Last game, it was the festival, the Feast of Ostara, where the people of the Greenhold celebrate the year that has gone by, and the next morning normally is when new people arrive through the tree. However, things did not go quite as planned last time. Thanks for all the subs, Varl. Thanks so much, man. Varl takes good care of us. Things didn't quite go as planned, as a number of things went somewhat awry. The hare, which was being played by Grayson, ended up in a strange dream pursued by some kind of wolf creature, perhaps a werewolf or something to that effect, and was rescued in extremis by Danae, the dreamer, who reached into the dream and pulled Grayson out. Meanwhile, Lucien, whose job was to keep a single fire going the entire night, succeeded, didn't succeed, we're not too sure exactly what happened, but ended up being lured away from her task several times, as a young woman, a young girl named Rebecca, who is the only young person in the village, and her father, Maxwell, who we will meet tonight, were endangered in the presence of a dark, shadowy man. And upon rescuing them from this shadowy man, they realized that this giant green knight had appeared in the village. And as they all followed the green knight to the tree, they were left in shock when the tree reached down and grabbed Rebecca and held her aloft in the air. That is where we will find our players momentarily. However, before we do that, we will go back in time a little bit. We will go back in time just a little bit to earlier that day to see exactly what happened to Maxwell and Rebecca. Bash, thank you so much, bro. Man, Bash is out there just keeping the lights on. Him and Varl just keeping the lights on by their twosome. Really appreciate both of you guys. Thanks so much. And as you can hear, Miss Francis is very upset. Maxwell, going back a little bit to the afternoon of that day, you had gathered with the rest of the people in the village on the common grounds, on the greens, where there was a bit of a celebration. People had bread and things to eat, and Edith, the root witch, had basically explained what was going to happen that night, that everyone from last year's new arrivals had a role to play to welcome the new ones tomorrow. However, in your case, given the presence of your daughter, Rebecca, you were given, hey, we've reached our goal of 1,300 followers. Thank you so much. I missed the prompt of who it was. I think it was someone just followed. Someone will tell me. Just missed, yes, thank you so much. We reached our goal. 1,300 followers. That's pretty crazy to me. Thank you so much. I can hardly wrap my mind around the fact that too many people like her stuff. But when you have players like these, look at these ones.
You're growing. You're growing. Pretty soon you're gonna be a real boy.
Pretty soon I'm gonna be a real boy. I'm gonna need real pants too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, given the presence of your daughter, Rebecca, you were given special dispensation to miss the ritual, especially since the ritual of Astara is one where there is taking of drugs and alcohol and partaking in fertility rites and things of that nature. And so in order to kind of, allow your younger daughter to not feel simply set aside for this, they allowed you to stay back. So after the afternoon meeting, you said goodbye to the others and headed back home with Rebecca, where you tried to kind of do a little celebration of Astara with her also. You know that the rest of the village were preparing these eggs with these dreams or goals for the year that they were writing on that they were going to bury later. So you had this little thing with your daughter also where you made these eggs and buried them in the backyard of your house, things of that nature, like just to kind of keep her feeling like she's part of things. Anyways, is there actually, let's start by having you tell us a little bit about Maxwell, who he is, what he looks like, as it's the first time that we meet him here tonight.
Well, Maxwell's a little bit of a sheepish individual, so to speak. He's very much into his books and things along those lines. He's lost a great deal over a long period of time, and it's funny thing about that. He's an older looking gentleman, and his appearance is very mix-mashed, as he finds great comfort in all the things of long past. So if it's an old shirt, he'll find a way to repurpose it. If it's, this handy device that supposedly, according to this magazine that I found, says that if you speak into it, it will record your thoughts, but I still haven't quite figured it out yet. But aside from that, he's very much involved in the trying to find ways to reclaim the things of past. He's a very scientific man, or technological man, one might say. The most important thing to him is Rebecca, his daughter.
And Rebecca is someone who, is quite beloved in the village by everyone, and gets along with people, and doesn't seem to be feeling upset or anything by sort of being set aside for this. She's very happy to get to spend a bit of time with you. She is in her very early 20s, but has the demeanor of someone much younger. One of the things that you heard from Edith when you first arrived here with Rebecca was that, first of all, no one this young had ever appeared in one of the chrysalis under the tree. The other thing is there had never been two people in the same chrysalis, in the same pod. You remember well when they pulled you out, they thought the pod was empty, and they pulled you out, and people had started walking away when someone realized that there was somebody else in it, and they soon realized that there were branches and roots that were strangling this young person, this young girl in the pod. And Edith at that point had said that this was the tree trying to fix a mistake that had happened, that this girl shouldn't be here. But Holder, the leader of the village, had jumped in and cut her free and saved her life. And in that time, Rebecca has become very much the child of the village, kind of accepted by everyone, loved by everyone, and has become a very important part of the little town of Greenhold, where you live. This town that you live in, of course, is the remains of an old Yorkshire British village. These little houses of stone. Most people have either their own little house or share with other people. Given the presence of Rebecca, you were given your own house near the edge of the village, and that is where you find yourself. Is there anything particular or specific that you think you would have wanted to do during the afternoon leading up to the beginning of the procession for the ritual?
The only thing that Maxwell would do, as he does every day, even though it's not an everyday occurrence, he would have very much sought out Grayson for any new particular items you may have recovered from beyond the city or the town, anything that I might tinker with.
Yeah, and Grayson, as you were on your way from the green, perhaps, and having gone to work on your hair costume, we're heading home for perhaps a bit of rest when you come across Maxwell in the village square.
Great, hello. How's it going, Maxwell? Good to see you.
Yeah. Do you have anything for me?
Oh, aye. And she opens her jacket, which is a pretty well worn but well appreciated leather jacket, and she throws it open, and there's just like knickknacks and baubles hanging around. And she goes, I just got this recently, and dangles a pocket watch. Are there any that I... Would you like it? I don't know if it works, but it seems like it might be quartz crystal.
What? No.
No, if you crack it open, look, it says quartz in really tiny writing. And I just kind of hold it up to his face, and then as he looks at it, I just snap it close. I go, there you go, and drop it into his hand. I also found this, and I found just like a little, what would probably be like a fabric pencil case, but there's like bits of broken pencil and charcoal and things. I don't know if it's very good, but if you're designing anything, here.
Oh yes, that's very helpful. That's very, very helpful. Yes, I can actually take these, and I can make these. I found this plastic tubing that had smaller little plastic like pellets that have the graphite in them, and you kind of like push them through the top, and so when that one dulls down, you pull it off, and there's a new tip for you to write with. It's most ingenious, and I feel that this would greatly help those of us around to make sure that we keep adequate notes and journals and histories of what's to come.
Right. And I reach back into my coat and I pull out just a little wee spiral bound notebook, and I give it to him, and I go, there's about 20 pages in there, but figured you'd use it better than I. Anyway.
And he like immediately opens it to start reading, to try and like read it to figure out what's in it.
Nothing.
Oh.
Looks like it was someone's diary at one point, but tore the pages out. That's the last 20 or so.
Did you take the pages out, or
no.
did? Oh, okay.
Came that way.
Okay, all right. For you, I have a thing I found. Yes.
I love things.
And he basically like pulls out this box that has a small little bulb on the front of it, and it pops out, and it has like a wind on it, and he goes, and he cranks it real hard, real fast, and then he puts it in, and he clicks it, and it lights up. It goes good for like 5 minutes. There you go.
Well, isn't that fucking charming? Well, many thanks, Maxwell. I will go ahead and tuck it away in my coat. It's like a coat of like a million pockets. Like you don't even know what all might be in there. So we'll see you this evening. How's Rebecca? No. Rebecca
can't be around that. No. She's gonna stay home with me. We'll celebrate in our own way.
Oh, right. Well, what will you two be getting up to then?
We're still trying to figure out this game that we found. The one with the black and white marks all over it or whatnot, and the little pieces. We don't have all the pieces, but we're figuring it out. You know, we think that the one that looks like a horse, right? Because horses jump. We figured they jump over the little bald-headed dudes, and so that's what we go with.
I reach into my coat pocket again, and I dig way down, and I go, do they look a bit like this? And it's kind of a mishmash of like hodgepodge of different chess pieces, checker pieces.
Yes.
Why don't you take these and see if they're any useful to you?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Well, maybe later if I'm not inundated with all of the activity, I could stop by and bring you a loaf of bread or something.
That would be great. Yes. Have fun. At the ceremony with your feasting and fornicating. Yep. And then he and he just turns and he starts like with his hands full of shit. Just.
And I think Grayson just like mutters to herself and just goes, "God, he's fucking weird, but I really like him."
As you're walking back home, you suddenly hear a little voice next to you go, "Daddy, what does fornicating mean?" And you realize that Rebecca is following you.
That is an excellent question, sweetheart, and I am happy to explain things to you. Just not in a public setting. That's not a
Oh, okay. What is it that
Mom.
Gray gave you? Can I see? And she's got her hands in her pocket trying to get to the.
I'm like,
what can I see?
well, we're gonna see, but I don't want you to drop any of them. I love you, sweetheart, so very, very much. But I don't want you to misplace any of these relics because they are still important for us too. But okay, here's a horse, and he like hands her like one of the white horse chess pieces.
She grabs it and she's like, "Oh,
yeah,
that's a horse."
Well, it's a horse head.
Oh, where's the rest of his body?
I don't quite know. But I understand that it is a horse head, so I'm just calling it a horse. I'm pretty sure horses had like they have that head, and then they had like bodies. They're like supposed to be beasts of burden, I think, if I understood this writing correctly. But the writing that I read on the horse said that they were quite beautiful and that they were all black. But they're not all that way from what I understand. They can come in different shapes and sizes, and colors. But the only source that I have is about a particular horse that was black and was thought to be very beautiful.
Do you think we'll ever see a horse?
I don't know, but I don't know. They're measured in hands, so I'm not quite sure how big that is, but 14 hands seems a lot.
They have 14 hands?
I don't know if
that must be creepy.
I'm not quite sure on that one. We still have to do a little bit more research and an understanding of what that is.
Okay, that's creepy.
But I do believe
hands.
that they're predators. So we need to be aware we need to be careful if we ever do come across a horse that they are a predatory species.
Okay. Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to keep this one for now because I don't think he's going to try to bite me or anything.
No, that one seems to be okay. Yeah, that one seems to be okay. I don't think it's going to come yeah.
Can we try playing that game again tonight? I think I can beat you this time.
We're going to, when they go do their special ceremony, we're going to have our own little special ceremony.
Oh, all right. I'm so excited. Race you home. And she just darts off.
And he just kind of like, and he like begins to move, right? But he's very small in his movement, since he doesn't want to drop anything that he's like hoarding in his hands at this point.
And when you get to your house, just as you're about to go in, you see something just outside the village. Like I said, your house is near the edge of the village. There's a wooden palisade, and there's a little bit of a trail that goes off, and then there's like an open field space, and then there's a forest that looms beyond, and you can see something strange just on the edge of the forest for a moment, and you stop yourself and you kind of take a look, and it's hard because it's very far away, but you see some kind of creature that looks like it's got 4 legs, and it looks like it's white silver luminescent, and it's got this huge crown of woods that kind of reach from its head, and it's far off in the distance, just on the edge of the forest, and you realize you're about to drop a bunch of stuff, and kind of when you kind of juggle it and pick it up and look up again, it's gone from where it was.
I think he goes inside and he like trying to remember every detail that he can. I think like he has like a work desk or whatnot that's like right inside of his home, and like all that stuff splays out, and he immediately pulls out that little notebook that he was just given and like one of the chunks of pencil or charcoal and immediately just starts going to town trying to redraw it, trying to recreate it.
And as you're doing that, you hear music outside and you realize the procession has started. And you had talked earlier with Rebecca about this. She was allowed to watch it go by, and as soon as the music starts, she kind of rushes to the window and stands there and watches as the villagers sort of all start gathering in the road and walking down, and they all have these old-timey instruments, these skin drums and flutes and stuff, and they start walking down across the village and up towards where the Root King is. And it takes maybe like 5 minutes for everyone to kind of wander on down and for the music to sort of start losing itself in the distance. And after a moment, you see coming up the road Lucien, who is walking around checking into the various houses. You're not quite sure what she's doing, but Lucien, as you come up the street, you're kind of looking around. You can see Rebecca's face in the window, and she waves at you, and you can see that there are a number of candles and the fireplace is going in their home.
Hello, Max.
Are you going to the celebration?
Not quite yet. Part of my responsibility is that I have to make sure all the lights are put out before I can join them at the fire. That does include your lights.
No, well, I mean, the outside light, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. But we're inside. We're still gonna have some light inside here. Don't worry. I've checked. So I understand the importance. I get it. I get that the customs and things along those lines, it requires the not light. But I figured something out. Ready? Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he like shuffles in, and then he comes back, and you see like almost like triple pleated, like giant blankets of cloth. So I call them no-see cloth walls. And he puts it over his window, and then like you go outside, and basically they're like blackout curtains. And he's just like, see, you can't see anything. Right? It's the no light wall. It's temporary, right? Okay, but we're gonna play a game, and we need to be able to see to do it.
I understand that, Max, and believe me, I'm not the one that you need to justify yourself to. I'm just trying to do my job.
I'm aware,
it's
but
only one night.
We have special dispensation to be able to stay home because Rebecca's not ready for that kind of involvement with the community. Okay?
I don't disagree.
So it'll be okay. It'll be fine. I guarantee it'll be fine. Just like it's not the first time you've looked the other way, so it's okay.
That's different, and I think that's different.
Is it though?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
It's not. Whether or not I believe that Gray would be in any danger if the lights were not out, I don't know if that's a risk that I'm willing to take. And I don't think that's a risk you're willing to take, really.
That's why I have the no light walls.
Right, but I don't know if the no light walls transfer to the ethereal plane, so to speak. Gray isn't going to be awake here and seeing the lights. They're going to be ostensibly elsewhere. I was told to turn out every light. There are lights inside that would be otherwise hidden, not just in your house, but everywhere. Please, Max, just indulge me. You owe me.
Fine. Okay, fine. All right.
Thank you.
And he goes and he goes and he clicks it, and he just kind of like, see, no lights.
Yes, I understand. I'm sure it will be very helpful any other night.
Yes, we will sit here in absolute darkness and, have only our thoughts to keep.
I think your thoughts more than most would keep you occupied.
Sure.
And Rebecca is clever. I'm sure she will find a way to entertain herself. Do you want me
Yes,
to-
let's keep her in the dark too, literally. Yeah, sure.
I am not the one insisting on keeping her in the dark, Max.
She's not about to go witness the mayor and the head hedge witch fornicating on the lawn in front of the tree.
No, but she is also, while she may be young in disposition, she is not
Careful.
She is not as childish as you might think.
Maybe
her
not
to
in
be.
physicality, but in mentality, and that's the important part.
The important part is that she has eyes and can see, and it is helpful for children to understand their environment, even if they aren't allowed to see it.
Well, I have it on good authority that that is not necessarily the case.
Your own authority.
No. And he goes over to like a shelf and he like rifles through a bunch of books that he does have, and he pulls out no. Apparently Dr. Spock says no.
Dr. Spock.
Dr. Spock. Yeah, this whole thing talks to you about how to raise a child.
Right. Well, she's your daughter, Max. I'm not going to overstep with her. I'm just saying that I feel that sheltering her too much might be to her detriment.
Well, I have no doubt whatsoever in my mind that my sheltering her at this point in time balances out the amount of rebellious nature that you two get up to when she's off with you in the afternoons.
I don't...
A father knows all. Thank you.
No,
Yep.
of course. Right. Well, thank you for your indulgence. I'm sure the two of you will find a way to keep occupied.
We sure will.
Do you want me to bring you any food from the ceremony?
Yes, actually, yes, that would be wonderful. Grayson says that that they're going to come by later with possibly like a loaf of bread. But if there's anything, I mean, if you find something a little sweet, maybe, she would probably really appreciate that. Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if there is some dessert of some kind. Yes, I will endeavor to bring you a treat in exchange for your patience.
No problem. Yep.
No lights.
My light is off, as you can see.
All right, Max. I'll see you later.
Sure will.
Good night.
Good night.
And Lucienne's gonna turn around. She's gonna walk out, and she's gonna continue on her task.
Once she is far enough away, he clicks the switch and looks at Rebecca and goes, "She never said for how long. So realistically," and then he shuts the door.
A little later in the evening, as the music has faded away and darkness has fallen, you and Rebecca have played your games, you've read her stories, you've had a little bit of food that Grayson brought by at some point. Grayson, who looked like a rabbit, was dressed like a rabbit with ears and the whole 9 yards when they came around and brought you the food, and you keep a little eye out in case Lucienne brings you food also, so that you can turn the lights off. But you haven't seen Lucienne in a while. You saw Lucienne go by down another street at some point, but she hasn't come back to the place. And after a little while, you turn around and you find Rebecca asleep at the kitchen table with her head down over her arms, clutching that little horsey from the chess game set. And you eventually go and pick her up and bring her into her. It's like a two room thing. There's like a main living area, and then there's like a little bedroom that you have, and you've got a little curtain that you've put up to give her a little bit of privacy. And so you go in and you put her into her bed, and then you come back into the living room, and how do you intend to spend the rest of the evening, as it feels like the, thing that's going on out there is kind of doing its own thing, and it's getting on late a little bit, and Rebecca's asleep. What do you plan on doing for your evening?
Well, I think he gets a little bit of a fire going, not a big one. He is being now that she has gone to bed, his light is very much out, but he's got a little bit of light coming off of the fire as he sits there and he goes, well, most of them are going to need this in the morning, and as we go, the celebration, why it's a celebration, I don't know, but they always come to me with the cream for the itch. So, and he starts grinding up some plants and making a paste almost, right? And he just starts putting it in leaf bound little packages, and there's one, and there's another, and there's another. And...
As you're working, you eventually start picking up a different smell, and at first you're thinking maybe it's the stuff you're working on, or maybe the smoke from the chimney, maybe there was something on the logs or whatever, but then you realize what that smell is. It's a smell that because you've smelled other people using that before. There's the smell of tobacco.
I think the smell of tobacco for him triggers not so much a distant memory, but something that should be a memory. And one of his little makeshift pencils, I think he finds himself immediately trying to a pipe, he's trying to bite down on a pipe, and he just kind of...
You turn around, and in the shadow cast by the fire against the wall, you see a figure there. It looks like a man sitting near the wall. He's got a hat on. He's dressed completely in black. He almost fades completely in the shadows, and all you see are his hands as he is bringing a cigarette up to a face that you can't see at all under the hat, and he takes a puff of the cigarette.
Excuse me, sir. I wasn't expecting company, and it's really important that you should knock first.
I apologize for my manners.
It's okay. Just knock first. I'm pretty accommodating, hospitable fellow. I just, And who are you?
I'm someone who's bringing you some bad news.
Oh, bad news. What kind of bad news could you? Oh no. Did Lucian get in trouble?
No, not that kind of bad news.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, what could be so bad?
I have to take your daughter.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm here to take your daughter. I'm giving you the courtesy of telling you, in case you would rather do this without me having to dispatch you first.
I think his hunched mannerism that he has, he starts to stand up a bit straighter, kind of thing, to where he wanders around kind of hunched over and kind of curled in on himself, so he looks really small, but when he stands up, he's actually kind of a tall guy, so he's just kind of what do you mean dispatch me, and why are you trying to take my daughter? She's done nothing to you. Who are you?
No, I don't know her at all. I just know her name, and the person who gave me her name wants her, so I'm going to bring her to him because I'm being paid to do so.
Bring her to him? Who's him?
Oh.
She's not of marrying age, sir. No, you cannot take her. No, I understand what these festivals get up to, and I understand the need for propagation, but not her. No, sir.
I was a father too once, so I understand what's going through your mind right now, and believe me, I do apologize for it. But unfortunately, once a name is given and a contract accepted, there really is nothing to stop it.
I think that there might be. Sure enough. And I think he fiddles around with I would like to try and use actually one of my abilities, if possible, in this moment.
Sure.
It's a bit of a stretch, right? But using the jury rig, I think that he has uncovered a degree of some lost tech, for lack of a better term, and he's stripped apart disposable cameras. So he cranks it to get the wee noise for the flash, right? And he kind of like keeps it in his pocket because he knows it scares animals away. So like it starts to pop up and he's just kind of like, no, I don't think so. I don't know who you are, okay? You have yet to identify yourself, just saying that you have a name and a contract for whoever him is, right? Okay, but if it's a man, then that means it's bad, okay, right? And this is coming from a man, okay? So men coming to snatch up women in the middle of the night, bad, okay? So I'm going to kindly ask you one more time to please leave my residence while you can still see.
He drops his cigarette on the floor and crushes it. You still can't see.
Now that's just rude.
You still can't see in the shadow under his hat. I told you, old man, there's nothing you can do to stop it. So let's get on with it, shall we?
Get on with what?
He gets up and starts to walk towards the door. You hear Rebecca towards the door to the bedroom. You hear Rebecca, Daddy, is everything okay? Why are you yelling?
I think at her sound, he immediately pulls out that little flash and he flashes at him.
And as you flash the camera at him, for a second you see something, and you're not quite sure what you see, but he explodes into this cloud of ravens that swarm you and hit you everywhere, in the stomach and the shoulders and the arms and the face and the head. This huge swarm of raven just explodes at you and rushes over you.
Rebecca, run! Find Lucian! Find Grayson! One of the two! Run, girl, run!
Another one of them comes around and hits you in the back of the head, and you fall forward and your head hits the side of the table, and things are very blurry and you're having difficulty kind of making sense of things. You hear Rebecca scream. You hear the door to the front door open, and you hear Lucien. And you hear Grayson. And you hear Danae, rushing into the room, and you look up and the three of them are rushing in. They all look worse for wear. They all look like they've been through hell. They all look like they're already like on some kind of horror thing, and you're trying to get up, and you see the back of this shadow man as he's approaching your daughter, and she's on the ground looking up and screaming and crying, and you feel completely helpless. And as the man pulls something long and shadowy out of the darkness of his body and goes to reach down, Danae throws herself forward and he hits her with it instead. And then for a moment there's nothing. And then the lot of you stir. I'm going to, since we've role-played this with the others already, I'm going to narrate a little bit kind of what happens next. As you all sort of come to, the shadow man is gone. The wound that would have been inflicted on Danae doesn't appear to actually have been inflicted. You see, after a few moments, bright white light wash in from the outside through the windows. And as you look out the window, you see the creature you saw on the edge of the forest earlier. This tall, translucent, silvery stag walking slowly along the cobblestone road of the village, heading towards the tree. After a few moments of indecision, the group of you decide to follow it. You head out into the empty streets of the village. There is no light. The only light is the light that is emanating from this stag with this huge crown. And as it moves forward towards the tree, you pass the bonfire and you see all the villagers passed out around it on the ground. And as you approach the tree, as you approach the Root King, you see the stag disappear inside of it, walk down into the hollow at the base of it. What happens next is blurry, a mix of events and things. Your head is still pounding. You probably have a concussion. You're not feeling quite yourself, but the others want to go inside the hollow of the tree. You refuse. You stay outside. And the three of them disappear inside the hollow of the tree. And you keep watch over Rebecca, and she's got a handkerchief, and she's trying to get the blood from your head from the various wounds you have, a bunch of cuts and bumps and bruises around your head. And again, everything feels weird, kind of like you're in a dream almost. And then, suddenly, Rebecca is taken from you, and you watch helplessly as she is lifted up in the air as the Root King has snaked down these branches, and these roots have come out and grabbed her and lifted her up, and the others come running out at Rebecca's scream, come running out of the hollow of the tree, and you watch as Rebecca is held aloft, and roots and branches envelop her almost completely. And then slowly she's lowered to the ground. The three of you there watch as the branches and the roots recede from her. But you can now see that at various places through her hair, along her skin, there are bits and pieces of branches and roots that have begun sticking out. Almost as if a tree is growing inside of her, inside her flesh, inside her skin. You can't really make too much sense of what comes after. Other people arrive, Edith, other Holder, the other leaders of the village, and soon you are brought back to your home, and Rebecca is laid in bed where she remains unmoving. You sit by her bedside, refusing to leave her side. She seems okay. She breathes and she doesn't seem to be in pain, but she lies there unconscious, and these bits and pieces of branch and roots kind of sticking out of her, and before you know it, dawn has come. Grayson, you've gone and changed. You have found that Danae has fallen asleep in the hollow of the tree and can't be woken up. The other dreamers of the village have gathered her and said that she is seeing what is to come, and they've gathered her and taken her away for now. Inside Maxwell's home, Maxwell is in the bedroom with Rebecca by her side, refusing to leave. His wounds, some of them now dried, but others still bleeding. He looks pale and sort of really worn out by everything. The two of you are sitting in his kitchen area. You've made tea. You've gotten a little bit of food for sustenance. Edith has said that she'll be by a little later once she's done checking on the rest of the village, but the morning comes, the sun rises on this scene in the house with Maxwell at his daughter's sickbed and the two of you in the kitchen. What is happening?
I think Lucienne has the mug of tea in front of her on the table, and she's sort of looking down in it, and she's been sort of rolling the contents in the mug for a bit, but not really drinking any of it. Even though it's only tea, she doesn't really seem to have an appetite after what she saw the last night.
Things just keep getting weirder and weirder, huh?
Oh. What was that? What was what?
I have no idea.
By her.
I
She
don't-
wasn't anywhere near your blasphemous ceremony. Why her?
Although,
I don't think it had anything to do with.
do you think
I
you
don't
sent
know.
it to her? Was that what
Somebody
you said?
did. He said that he was sent by somebody. He was given a name by
Well, it
him.
wasn't us.
Well, I know it's not you.
We're here to help.
I know that, but I want to know who. Who's been eyeing her, huh, Lucian? While you guys are out picking berries during the day, huh? Who's been eyeing her, huh?
How can you ask me that? There hasn't been anyone. There's nothing. You know, I wouldn't let anything happen to her while she's in my care. That's not.
I never said that you would allow anything to happen to her while she was in your care, but you would definitely notice, and you're also the kind of person who knows that I worry, and so you probably would tell her not to say anything, and you in turn wouldn't say anything.
That's not true.
Mhm.
If there was something that I was concerned about, I would tell you. You're her father.
Mhm.
Whatever our disagreements may be about what you do or do not keep from her, she's not my daughter. She's yours.
Yes,
If
that's
there
right.
were some man, as you said, who had been ogling her or interested in her, then I would have told you. But the fact of the matter is that there hasn't been anyone. The few people that actually talk to her are kind, and
Who is he? Who is him?
I don't know. I don't know anything.
I would venture a guess that it's the same person that was perhaps after me and perhaps after Danny.
Is it? Is it people from one of those rumored like other places? Those other towns, other settlements.
I don't think it's another settlement. I think that it might be something not of this realm.
You mean like that big deer fella?
Right, exactly like that big deer fella.
Okay, so I don't believe in that. Okay, all right.
Well, whether or not you believe in it,
but I understand that. I get that. Okay, but I do. But I don't understand why her. Why would she be picked?
well, maybe there's something special about her. I mean, she's a bit different.
She
In a
came
good way.
with you.
Mhm.
When we all arrived, they told us that there'd never been two people brought together. And she came with you. I don't know. It's the only thing that comes to mind. But we saw what we saw last night. I can't even trust half of what I saw last night. I don't know what was real and what was just a part of the test, part of the ceremony. I still don't know if Macklin's dead or alive. I don't know. And I'm sorry, Max. I heard her calling for help and I thought it wasn't real. Maybe if I had come sooner, then I don't know. I'm sorry.
I want to blame you, but it's not your fault. And I know that it's not your fault. No matter how badly I want to blame you. And no, it's not your fault. And I know that you wouldn't actively try to harm her. I don't know who this smoking man is. Okay, I don't know that. I don't know who he is. Okay, I don't. But I can tell you this much. He's not natural. He's not of this of all the things that I know. And that's bothersome.
Exactly.
And I'm really concerned.
It's not as if we have any idea what we're contending with, which is unsettling. I understand that, Maxwell.
Why would we know? We've only been here for a year. No one...
You go out into the green. You go out there, you see things.
We're not seeing great bloody raven men and
No, but and he
horned
I think he like rips the curtain like back for a minute. You ever seen a tree grow out of a person?
Easy now. Let her rest.
When you do that, you see her eyes open. She says, "Da."
It's okay. It's okay, sweetheart. It's okay. Go back to sleep. You're okay.
Where is he? Where's
Who?
the man?
He's gone. He's gone, honey. He's gone, sweet pea. It's okay. It's okay.
He said I had to go with him. He said I wasn't safe here.
Why would you have to go with him? Why?
There's a knock at the door as you say that.
What is with this place? And he goes over. We do not wish anybody else to come by. Thank you. We have things in hand. I appreciate your sentiments. It's okay. Thank you. Please go away.
You see through the window that it's Edith, the root witch of the town, standing outside. I understand that you're probably very frightened right now, Maxwell, but you have to let me in.
He opens the door.
She comes in looking like she hasn't slept in forever. Definitely, looking like a lot of... she's carrying a lot on her shoulders and is very tired. She walks in and looks at all of you in the room and... Could I bother you for a cup of tea, please? It's been a long night.
Yes, you still want a mint leaf in it?
Please, if you have it, that would be...
I always have it.
wonderful.
I always have all the medicines. I always have all the things that everybody needs, but nobody can help me when I'm in my needs.
She walks up while you're preparing that and goes up to Rebecca and kneels next to her. And she whispers to her and she takes the little rag with the water that you have next to the bed and she wipes her brow with it. And she says, shh. It's okay to sleep now, Rebecca. You're safe now. It's okay to sleep. You're in good hands. Your daddy's going to take good care of you. And you see Rebecca's eyes slowly sort of close as she's lying there. You can see when you bring the tea that on Rebecca's hands, her skin has started to turn to bark a little bit in places like birch bark. Edith takes a look at that and says, "It's okay, Maxwell. Let's go back in the kitchen and talk. She's okay for now. She's sleeping. Thank you for the tea."
Yeah, of course. Please sit.
She sits down very warily and puts her hand in her head for a second and then sips the tea and goes, "How are all of you doing?"
Oh, it was a wee bit of a lovely night up until, everything went a little tits up.
That
And you
means
see
bad.
Grayson is very serious when she says that.
Lucien, how are you?
I am still wondering if any of this is real or if it's some hallucination or part of some test. So that's how I'm doing. Thank you for asking.
Can assure you it's very real, even though it may feel dreamlike or strange to you, but... And I'm not speaking as someone who's lived through this, but I can feel it. I can feel how tangible it all is. I need to ask you, Lucienne, were any lights left on in the village last night?
No, I checked and I double checked. I don't know what happened. The lights were out. I talked to Rowan and I went to go back to the fire, but it was out. It was gone. And everything was I heard Rebecca asking for help, and I didn't do anything because I was told to focus on my job, and that was the most important thing, and that everything else was just a test and it wasn't real, and Macklin might be dead because something was hunting him in the woods. And Rowan told me that wasn't real, but now I don't even know if I actually talked to Rowan. But I made sure the lights were out. I know that.
You did your duty, and for what it's worth, as difficult as it may be, you were right in sticking to what you had been told to do. Even when you heard the scream of Rebecca, there was no way for you to know if it was real or not, and the safety of the community is more important than the safety of one member of the community. And so you did what you were supposed to do, and you can rest easy with that.
I don't think I'm going to rest easy for some time.
I don't understand. What does the light have to do with anything?
Rayson, has Nicodemus ever told you about the Slua?
Storykeeper, has Nicodemus ever told me anything about the Slua?
That word she uses there doesn't mean anything to you. And when she sees you kind of scrunch over, she says, in that moment, when she sees you kind of scrunch your face up, she goes, he might have referred to them as the night folk.
Oh, yeah, yes, I have heard of them. And you just see that Grayson's like really fiddling with her glove right now, just kind of like running her fingers along the seams. Yeah, he might have mentioned it.
What did he say about them?
He said that, well, they're a certain kind of dangerous, aren't they? They're perhaps not to be trusted by anyone, but that they've got very special powers.
They are a fairy people from a place called the Unseelie Court. Evil fairies, if you will. The Slua are the restless spirits of unavenged dead who can be hired to visit mortals and end their lives or torture them or haunt them. They are especially dangerous when they have the true name of their target. It is said that when a bargain is made with them that includes the true name of their target, nothing can stop them. So now we know that, of course, Rebecca is not her true name, if that's the name that he knew. Whatever name he knew is not Rebecca's real name, or he would have finished the job.
That's right. I remember when I was growing up, there was a woman, a very kind woman who looked after me from time to time, and she told me stories, just things to scare children late at night or trick them into doing their chores. Something like don't leave your muddy boots in the house. You've got to leave them outside, otherwise the night folk will come and take you away. But it was all superstition and bunk.
The world as it is now is one where what was once superstition and what was perhaps before that truth is truth again. I don't profess to understand all of it, even though I have been here for several decades now, but this I understand there is someone or something out there that is interested in Rebecca for one reason or another. I don't know if it was to kill her, but there is a dark interest in her somewhere. But I've spent the morning thinking on this and consulting with the Root King and reading the bones, and there's something I've suspected for a long while that I think finally is proven true. Is that you raising a hand to speak? I believe, Maxwell, that it wasn't Hugh who was supposed to be here in that chrysalis. It was her. Somehow you clung to her so fiercely and almost suffocated her in her pod. She's lucky that she managed to come through.
How much of your superstitious fortune telling is real and not just your bias? Because I cling to the world that was before and not your fanciful storybook world that you want this world to be.
Don't talk so loud. They might hear you.
Because, Maxwell, the Root King speaks to me. And the Root King has told me that Rebecca is not safe here among us. The Root King is trying to protect her, even from us. I believe we should speak to our visitor from last night. Green Knight. He is an emissary from the Green. And I believe his arrival here, coinciding with the attack on Rebecca and the Feast of Astara, is in fact no coincidence. She finishes her tea and gets up. I would bid you come and gather with me and a few of the others at the Root King within the hour. The Green Knight has emerged from the tree and is standing vigil there. I believe we will learn more of what needs to happen next to protect us and to protect the Root King and to protect Rebecca. But, and I only say this as, well, a warning is perhaps too strong a word, but things are real. These things that you think belong only to legend and folktales and mythology are very real in this world now, since the Green has returned. Its power has brought back to life all these things, and it is better that you all get cozy with that. Because you can't change the nature of the world around you.
We did once, we can again. Tesla teaches.
And we saw how that ended.
Well, sometimes you gotta wipe away the chalkboard and start again to figure out the equation.
This time, you and Rebecca may not be so lucky as may none of us if the chalkboard, as you say, is wiped again. And so I believe it would be in our best interest to try and do what we can.
That's true. But I'm here to tell you, I will sacrifice your root king if it means Rebecca lives.
Pray he doesn't hear you.
I hope he does.
Too late.
Because all kings are fathers, and he should understand.
She nods to you, and she looks at the other two and says, within the hour. And she leaves and turns to the door and sees herself out, closing the door quietly behind her, leaving the three of you alone in the room.
Who's going to stay with her? We can't all just leave her.
Well, could we have Bronwyn come and stay?
That's fine. I need somebody here with her. I don't want her to wake up and nobody's here.
Understood. Let's find someone. I'll go tap Bronwyn or see who can tend to her while we go meet.
Okay. I'm gonna let her know that we're going.
So, what do you all do?
I would make my way to Bronwyn to see if we could delegate someone to watch after Rebecca, and then I'd head just straight to where we were meeting Edith.
I would maybe linger for a couple more moments watching Max and Rebecca, and then leave and try to find Rowan to talk. Before going to the meeting place.
And Max?
I think he kneels down beside Rebecca, and he kind of like takes her hand, and if he feels any of like the bark skin, I think that there is like a stutter in his breath. Maybe this time I should have actually listened to Lucian. You know I don't believe in their ways, and they seem very backward to me, and maybe I shouldn't have turned that light back on. But you were looking forward to our little game. I'm gonna fix this. We're gonna fix this. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna fix this.
Seems to be resting peacefully.
I've got to go for a little bit. Okay, gotta go talk to a tree, I guess. But someone will be here to be with you while you're resting. Just focus on resting, okay? And we're gonna get you fixed. No worries, none. We're gonna get you fixed. It'll be okay. Sleep good, okay? And I think like he gives Rebecca like a kiss on the forehead kind of thing, and then he goes to where his workbench is at, and he pulls out like this old wooden box, and he opens it up, and there's like an old revolver that's in there with only like a handful of bullets, and he just goes, "No, not yet, no," and he tucks it away. And I think, but he does grab a fire poker because he knows that's made out of fucking iron. If those fucking stories are true, well, this will probably do better.
And as you grab your cassette recorder, you notice something different about it. You notice that there's a little red light that's blinking in the corner.
He presses the... Martha? Are you working? No, you're working. Little red light. What's that? Huh. Martha, I tell you everything, but I don't tell you enough. If anything's to be believed, that you're gonna hold all the stories, all the laws, all the things that should be. We gotta find a way out of this, Martha. Yeah. Well,
And as you're staring at it, you hear a click. You see the little wheels inside start to turn, even though there's no tape. And you hear a voice coming from the item, and it's the voice of the man from last time, the shadowy man. And it just says, "You can't protect her, and you can't save her."
you're not Martha. Who are you?
And then it goes click and stops, and the little red light fades away.
For a bunch of mythical, magical creatures, they sure know how to work technology of the old days. Makes me believe they're not so magical. Probably just some sort of anomaly or gravity fluctuation or magnetic field manipulator or something like bats. I don't know.
Just before you head out, we're going to see Grayson here for a second. Grayson, you are on your way through the village, heading towards Bronwyn, when you see sitting on the side of the road eating peanuts in a shell, or nuts, probably like hazelnuts or something, and giving you a nice big smile is Nell, the shepherd. And she has her little crooked staff on her legs, and she's munching away. And when she sees you coming, she goes, "Oh, Grayson, would you like a hazelnut? I found them yesterday. They're very good, very plump."
No, that's all right. Still kind of addled from the whole evening.
It's one for the books, that's for sure. How's the little one doing?
Well, and you see all pretense of Grayson trying to keep it together just fall. I don't know, Nell. I don't think she's doing very well.
You don't look like you're doing very well yourself there, Grayson. You want to sit for a moment?
No time, unfortunately. I've got to go find Bronwyn. Edith wants to meet.
I heard that a few of them were being gathered there. What do you need Bronwyn for?
Well, we're just looking to see if she could delegate someone to attend to Rebecca for the time being. Someone who perhaps knows a wee bit more than we do about her condition.
Oh, well, tending to the lost sheep is kind of a specialty of mine. I'd be happy to help if you want. I'm happy to go and sit with the wee baron while you take care of business with you. Come on. You can escort me back to Maxwell's house and tell me all about that's happened, and I'll sit with the wee baron while you go out.
Can I get a read on her? Is she like a trusted member of the community? Do I know her very well? Is this just an offering of kindness?
Nell is very literally the shepherd of the. She's the one that everyone talks to. She's the one that always has a piece of wisdom or a bit of comfort or a shoulder. She always seems to turn up exactly when someone needs something. She's very kind and gentle, and is very much, like I said, the shepherd of the village.
Great. Gray just pauses for a moment and says, Nell, I'll take you up on that hazelnut now, and let's make our way back to Maxwell's.
Am I the only one who hears this cat all the time? It's like there's a cat always.
I can't find her. She's like wandering around the alleys. I've got no idea where this bloody cat is. Can't find her anywhere.
Well, probably a fake cat. Come And as you're getting ready, Maxwell, to go, there's a knock at the door, and you see that Grayson has returned with Nell, and Nell sort of sweeps in and goes, "Oh, Maxwell, how you doing there, lad? I heard you had quite the eventful evening. Oh, there's tea already brewing. You won't mind if I make a little bit more, will you? I have a feeling we're going to need a little bit more. And oh yeah, this is not the strong stuff. You always make it just a little too watery. Let me work on it. I'll fix this for you. I even have some fresh honey." And she pulls out literally this little leather wrap thing, and she opens, and there's a fresh honeycomb in there, and she just starts laying that out, and she starts prepping the tea. And
Maxwell has a look upon his face of overstimulation.
you can go and take care of your things. I'll watch over the little one.
Okay. Just if she wakes up, just try and get her back to sleep. Don't feed her whatever that is. Yes, I thank you. And Grayson, thank you for finding Nell to bring over. Then he turns to go to leave.
You will follow Grayson and head on out of here. I think the cat has broken something. Meanwhile, Lucienne, as you head out of the house after waiting a few moments, looking behind, you feel that the knock at your door again, that sense that someone is trying to send you a message, and you hear Macklin's voice going, "Oh, is the village still standing?"
Yeah, it is. Are you all right?
I'm fine. It just got delayed a little bit.
Delayed? I thought you got eaten.
Eaten by what?
Last night, you were running from something. I saw you running. I saw through your eyes.
I did run part of the night, but I'm fine. I just had to do a little bit of a detour to circumvent the troll. I'll be back to the village soon. Just wanted to make sure everyone was still okay.
Yeah, everyone's fine. Why wouldn't we be, from your perspective?
Dark signs importance out here. Things are moving. I'll have more to say when I get there. Should be
How
there by
long?
midday.
Midday. Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll have a lot to talk about when you get in.
If you see Rowan, ask her about the ravens. You can see about 30 or so of them winging it over the village, quite high in the sky. It's barely at the limit of my vision, but they're circling something up there.
Yeah, I know exactly what they're circling. Try and just avoid them if you can.
Pretty high and I'm pretty low. I think I'll be fine.
Famous last words.
Indeed. All right, catch up with you soon.
See you.
And you reach out with your senses and can detect that Rowan is in that direction, a little further away. And as you make your way towards her, you find her with a number of the other Green Wardens in the village, looking at a map and sort of pointing out at and kind of giving orders as to where she wants them to sort of spread out or go and take a look. And when you approach, she looks up for a moment and then just kind of does this and then finishes talking to the others. And then as they turn and skedaddle, she looks to you and says, "Has he talked to you yet?"
Yeah, he just talked to me.
What did he say?
He said that he'll be here by midday and that I should let you know about the ravens that are circling.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Macklin, who are you talking about?
The Green Knight.
No, I have not talked to the Green Knight.
Interesting. He's talked to all the others.
I don't know what to tell you, Rowan. I don't know what's going on.
I don't think anybody does. What happened last night? Did you... Of course, I assume you did your job correctly. You made sure there were no lights on in the village.
Yes, I did. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know how much of it was real. Every person I talked to is telling me that it was the right thing, that I did my duty and whatnot. I made sure all the lights were out. And I saw through Macklin. He was running in the woods. He was being chased. He just told me that he had to run around a troll and that he was running, but it didn't feel like that. And
you saw through his eyes.
Yes, that thing that you told me last night wasn't possible and that it was all fake and that I was making it up. That stuff.
It is possible, but not for someone as inexperienced as you. It takes many years of practice and closeness with the others to be able to get that level of connection to someone.
I didn't do it. It just sort of happened to me and I collapsed and I woke up a little while after. I don't know. I'd never felt anything like it. It just...
Have you ever seen through anybody else's eyes?
No, not like this. I mean, there's Thistle, but Thistle's different. Thistle.
Thistle is another story. Look, Lucian, you'll find in time as you gain experience and become closer to the other Green Wardens that there are very miraculous things you can do, and looking through their eyes is going to be the least of them. But that you can do even that much right now, especially with Macklin, who, of all of us, is the one you've seen the least. He's always out on patrol.
I don't know. I thought it was because he was in danger.
He didn't sound like he was in danger. And the Green Knight did not talking to you. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe he just doesn't want to talk to me.
Maybe. But he's told us where to send our people to keep an eye out. There are apparently enemies about.
The shadow folk, you mean?
No, I did hear about that. Which is why we're asking so much about the lights, is that they can only travel the way they travel if there is light. Create shadows. Otherwise, they're forced to rely on their own 2 feet like the rest of us mortals.
I double-checked every light. Even the great fire was out when I looked at it, but then it was back. I don't know, that was also strange. The 3 of us, Danae, Gray, and I, we met by the fire and it was out and all of you were gone. And then we found Rebecca and we had our encounter with him. And then there was the deer, the glowing deer. And then you were all back, the fire was lit, and the night was in the hollow. And then Rebecca was... What's happening to her, Rowan?
I don't know. Ask Edith. She knows about these things. All I do know is if you encounter this shadow man again or another one like him, you need to use fire.
Fire. Right. That's as good a plan as any.
Ask Nicodemus or your friend Grayson. They know how to get in contact with these things.
In contact?
There's apparently through the rovers that contact is made with the night folk. And Nicodemus, of course, with his contacts in the rovers.
So The man, he wanted Rebecca for some reason, and Max said that he was working for someone. Do you think the Rovers might know who?
It's possible. I could talk to Nicodemus about it, see if he would ask them. I am afraid that we're not seeing the full picture here, in a sense that I am not 100% sure whether Rebecca is actually safe here.
I don't know if any of us are actually safe here.
Well,
what do you know
that's
about
what
a
we're
giant
working on.
wolf?
Hound of Brocelion?
I don't know. That's what I thought was chasing Macklin last night, and apparently Grayson was chased by a wolf in her dream.
If it was a dream, it could be just about anything. There is the hound, but we've not seen it around here. It's an old story, and people tell further up north. If it happened in a dream, though, there's no way of knowing what it was. It could have been anything.
Well, I'm meeting up with Edith and the rest at the Hollow. She wants to talk to the Green Knight, so maybe he'll talk to me then.
Well, I have work to do. Do keep me posted and let me know what comes of this meeting.
Yeah, I will. And I'll come back when Macklin's back.
Be wary, and remember that doing your duty will always see you through. Hold to that. I know you have a tendency to put a lot on your own shoulders and to believe that you are responsible for things when you perhaps are not necessarily responsible for them.
You weren't there, Rowan. You didn't hear her calling for me, for my help. And I left her there because I didn't think it was real. I should have known it was real.
I don't think it was possible to know last night what was real and what wasn't. You did what you were supposed to do. If you were asked to guard something, you guard that thing. That is, a guard leaving his post endangers everybody. And kind of creatures that inhabit these forests are very tricky. And so, if you are told to guard the door, guard the door. And if you do that, then you have served the people and done your job.
Right. Thank you for your advice.
If you hear any more from Macklin, tell him to hurry up, would you?
Yeah. No, I told him as much.
It's not all your responsibility. Yeah.
Yeah, but last night it kind of was, so.
I don't think that anyone would have done better.
Maybe not, but that doesn't change anything about our current situation. So I'm just going to do whatever Edith asks me to do and just...
Which is also usually a good idea.
Yeah, it's usually a good idea. And
Alright, go. And keep me posted.
yeah. Watch out for the ravens.
The ravens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're circling.
Yeah. Stranger and stranger.
Keep an eye.
You head off, and eventually, a lot of you find yourselves arriving at the Root King, the tree where you are met with a strange sight. Standing at the base of the tree is this 10 feet tall figure in armor that appears to be made of oak. The figure itself appears to be part man, part tree, and the woods of an enormous stag sprout from its helmet. It stands there with a shield covered in roots and a sword wrapped in vines. It stands immobile, rooted into the ground. You can see where it stands that flowers have begun to grow. Flowers that are absolutely not in season, spreading out from around its feet. You see Edith and some of the others there, standing a respectable distance away. There is no real wind, yet the leaves of the Root King shimmer and sway, and it's as if the Root King is shaking its crown, and the leaves are making this rustling sound. The area smells of peat and fresh herbs and flowers, and everything has this emerald green glow to it. As you approach, Edith comes to you. Good, you're here. I heard this morning, or remembered, a passage from a poem that I knew long ago. It goes, "Great wonder of the night folk had in hall, I ween, full fierce he was to sight, and over all bright green." It's an old story. Ancient king that ruled on this land a very long time ago. The king was said to have died and reside in the land of the Fae, a place called Avalon, and there was a messenger sent to him once, a green knight, who came to test the purity of this king's knights. Plenty of stories. This knight is, in other stories, believed to have been a knight of this king also, and in others, simply a force of nature. I do not know which one this is, except that it is clear that he is a messenger and that he is tied to the Root King. Come. Let us approach.
Arthur.
Yes. King Arthur. Arturus Rex. One of those folk tales.
Or history.
Or history.
As you approach the Green Knight, he remains immobile for a while, but as you get closer, his head moves slightly and turns towards the lot of you, and very slowly, with the sound of creaking wood, he turns his sword around and plants it in the ground before him. And just as he does, the clouds above open up and sunlight falls upon the glade where the tree lives. bathing all of you in its warm light. From underneath the helmet, this deep resonant voice echoes. Approach. The Root King has messages for you. As you...
Lucienne goes up.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say Lucienne goes up.
He remains immobile and silent still for a while. The child is the one the Green has been waiting for. But she is not safe here. For now, the Root King has been convinced to help. But the Root King is selfish and cares only for his Greenhold. The fate of humankind matters little to the Root King. If you keep her here, you will not be able to protect her. And many, if not most of you, will die in a futile attempt to do so. Edith looks at a lot of you and then turns to Ruki and said, "Then what are we to do? Are we to sacrifice the child then?" That is not the fate of the child. The Root King has another message, and he looks up, and when he does, there's like a gust of wind, and the tree starts to shake again, and you start hearing the plunk, 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 plunk of wood on wood. And you see, falling from the tree are these huge, apple-sized acorns that roll along the bark of the tree and spread out. And as they roll towards you, one comes towards each of you and stops at your feet.
I bend over and pick it up with my left hand.
Mm-hmm.
Etherwick lies to the south. A great city once, but now in ruins. At the core of the ruin is the glittering prophet, who speaks for the fabricator god. The only safe place for the girl is Glastonbury Tor. But reaching the island is impossible unless aided by the Green. A number of you have been chosen by the Root King. Those of you chosen must travel south to Aetherwick, and there find and kill the prophet. Once this is done, the Root King will open the Greenway for the girl to be taken to Glastonbury Tor. Once there, she will be safe, and once removed from this place, the village will be safe. But be swift. They will come for her before the next dark moon. When they do, you will either give her to them, or all will suffer needlessly, and the Root King will be burned to ashes. And he pulls his sword out of the ground. Be swift. And he turns and walks slowly back up the hill and disappears back inside the hollow at the base of the tree. Edith is looking at the acorn that has rolled to her. I was right.
About.
It was her who was supposed to be here.
I don't understand. We have been chosen?
We're like the equivalent of infants here. What are we supposed to know that the elders don't know, that Bronwyn doesn't know? Why us?
Because you're expendable.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
That was honest.
If the village loses you, it doesn't lose much. And without you here, the villagers will be more inclined to get rid of Rebecca to protect themselves. The Root King has calculated well. What I don't understand is, and she holds up her acorn, why he wants me to go.
Because you're expendable.
Which leads me to believe that Rebecca is here to replace me.
Then we go, and Rebecca stays and takes your place. It's the logical answer, isn't it?
Some form of logic, yes.
But how are we supposed to succeed? Killing a prophet?
Who is he?
I've not heard that name until today. We know that deep in the bowels of the old cities there are things, ancient things that still live, that are connected to the relics of ancient technology. We have long suspected that there may be some spirit or force behind them, but there's been no encounter. Nothing. Those of us who go into the cities don't come back. They're too dangerous.
But we're going. Because we're going. Of course we're going. What other choice is there?
There's none.
All I know is this, and she leans forward to you all and says, I don't think I'm supposed to say this, but I've already sort of said it. The Root King is concerned only with the Greenhold. Us, the people here inhabiting this place, are an afterthought. We all disappear. It's of little consequence. Now, if we remain here, it creates problems. If we go, either we succeed, or as I said earlier, we don't come back, which makes it easier for the village to do what they have to do. The betterment of the community over the well-being of one member. There's this understanding, I think, perhaps a holdover from the old days, that people think nature and the gods of nature and the spirits of nature are benevolent, but they are our enemies. We have killed them over and over and over and over again. We have destroyed them and corrupted them and ripped them apart, and they do not see us in any way, shape, or form as anything other than a nuisance or a threat. That we have even been given a second chance here is almost beyond understanding, but we have. Nature is only concerned with the natural order of things. This is its realm. We are interlopers. We are parasites. And while it may allow us to feed from it, because we tend to it, it is not enamored of us, and it is not benevolent towards us. We have to earn our keep.
Don't worry, Edith. I've never been under any other illusion. Nature is nature. It will do as it does.
I would hazard that particular line of thinking is why no one returns from the fabricator god. Because you see, to fabricate is to be man-made. And I'm willing to bet that those that cling to your ways don't return from that city because of them.
You'll have to be the first then, if you want to see your daughter again.
I'm unsure if that's a threat or not.
It's just the reality, Max. We're going.
No, I'm
Whether
aware
or
that
not-
we're going.
Whether or not we
not-
come back.
I'm aware that we're going. I'm just questioning whether or not she shouldn't just come with us.
Unfortunately, Max, I don't think Rebecca is prepared
Nor is she well
to do the
enough.
sort of traveling that we would need to do. So,
Realistically, are any of us? We're all essentially walking into the unknown. Our guidepost is rumors and speculation.
Maxwell. She can't walk.
And
She
we
can't
carry
keep-
her.
she'll slow us down.
We fight the prophet. We clear the way. That's the first step. You're quick. You're smart. You're brilliant. You'll figure it out along the way, but for now, we know what we've got to do in order to keep her and ourselves alive. The Root King cares only for the Greenhold. We lose everything if we don't do this.
Your daughter's safety has been bought with blood. The last step of the Feast of Astara, which we had not discussed yet, is that before the chrysalis are released to us, the Root King demands a sacrifice. One of the village has to be given to the Root King, their blood spilled on the earth, their bones and bodies buried in the loam beneath the roots of the tree. And that is what we do every year on the morning after Astara's feast, so that we may retrieve those like you and like the rest of us who have arrived that way. There are no newcomers this year. But the Root King has promised us that he will keep the place safe, out of sight of those who seek this place, until the next dark moon. A promise that was bought by Holder this morning, just before I came to see you. I shed his blood and buried his body right here beneath the tree. This is what he wanted. Older, he said that was his duty as the leader of this settlement, to give his life to buy us time. So we will honor that sacrifice. And do what we can to save the village and Rebecca. And if you need a comforting thought, know that we can't fail. Either we kill the prophet and return, and the greenway is opened, or we don't return. And they will give Rebecca to them, and the village will live on. Dark, but still. Victory is both ways.
No, not really.
Well, it is in our hands to make sure that we get everything we want. We have to earn our keep. We have much to prepare. We should leave today. It is a long walk to Efferwick. We will need supplies. Go to your homes. Talk to your friends. Get everything you can, everything you believe you'll need, and more. We leave in a few hours.
Just tell us when and where. We'll be there.
I will consult with the dreamers. And then I will get my things together. Let's meet at Maxwell's home 2 hours from now.
All right.
One thing is certain, though. On this little journey we're about to partake, you're not in charge. Grayson is.
Okay.
If Rebecca was destined to replace you, and you're not too keen on that, let's just say my trust in you as a leader and ensuring we accomplish what we need to in the timely manner that we must, my faith in you in that regard is questionable at best. Grayson, however, ventures beyond our city on more than one occasion and knows their way around. Also, they care about both sides. I can't necessarily say the same for you in this particular moment with your barbaric ways. You're willing to sacrifice one without a tear shed? No. You're not in charge. You're a traveler. Grayson's in charge. Grayson will get us there.
I appreciate your sentiments, Maxwell, but I fear that, in truth, none of us are really in charge.
Well, according to you, I'm not supposed to be here. So we're all full of anomalies, aren't we?
Seems so. See you in 2 hours. She takes her acorn and puts it in her little bag and starts walking towards the village.
Do you think that maybe someone who knows the wilds and the greens a little bit more so might be more fitted for the role of leadership? And she looks over at Lucien like, right? You know, I just collect things.
Yeah, you'll do great.
It's nothing against Lucian.
I don't want it. No problem here. I don't want it. You'll do great, Gray. I don't disagree with Max's assessment.
It wasn't your fault, Lucian.
It's
Rebecca wanted to play a game, and I turned my light back on after you left. It's my fault. And I think at that he just kind of like starts to walk back towards his house.
Yeah, I think Lucien stands there. And like the hand that's holding the acorn shakes a bit. And she's just looking at your back.
Grayson just claps a hand on your shoulder and goes, that explains a lot. See you in 2 hours.
Yeah, see you in 2 hours, Gray.
So, what will you all do in the 2 hours that you have? You have to pack your bag, and I will actually will pay close attention to what you bring with you, because the trip to Efferwick or York will be one of survival, and you will need to have certain things. You need to have a ration of food and water every day, except for some of you who have special skills that circumvent that. And you need to have garments and various other things, including weapons and whatnot. So, and you have very limited space. If you remember correctly, your number of gear that you can carry beyond your weapons at hand and your armor is equivalent of the maximum of your physique die. Perhaps, Lucien, you might share with your compatriots any special skills you have that may help. And I think you should do this kind of together to a certain degree, how much food is being brought and how much water is being brought. I think you should discuss together. You should know that you're going to find out that, of course, Danae is going with you. She will have received an acorn also. Unfortunately, Ava is not here, but we will work out with Ava behind the scenes later kind of what happens, but for now, sort out amongst the three of you what it is, if you have special skills that can help, but also how much food and drink you want to bring, and what are you willing to leave behind. I will tell you exactly how many days it's going to take you. Second one in contact.
Yeah, that's right. I was going to ask how many days. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, crows have a little bit more slots for items.
I know you get more items to begin with. Check.
You said it's based off of our core physique die, not like our endurance or anything, right?
Yeah, it's your physique die. If it's a D6, then you have 6 slots. But this doesn't count. You can have 2 weapons at hand, and you can have your armor at hand also, which are not counted in your backpack.
Right. Well, terrible news, folks. I didn't take the ability specifically about traveling. But because I have the ability to communicate with other Green Wardens, I can potentially discover caches of supplies that have been left around, which is helpful. Probably talk to Macklin about that. Supply cache. So if we're ever running low, it's possible I can chat with someone. So.
A little correction. Most of you can only have 1 weapon at hand. Sentinels and Green Wardens can have 2 weapons. But you can have your weapon at hand, your armor, and you can carry any number of tiny items, plus your memento and your regular clothes, and 1 outer garment for free. In your backpack, is the average of your maximum force and endurance dice. Sorry.
Ah.
So your maximum force and endurance, you average that out. If you don't have a die in one of those skills, then you count it as a 6. You get between 6 and 12 items. The crow starts with more resources, but you cannot carry more gear.
Got it. So the fact that I don't have anything in force, but I've got endurance at a D6 means I've got 12 or 6 items.
It means you have 6, so it's the average. So it means you have 6.
I
Because you
also have
count
6.
6 if you don't have the die.
I think, based off of my gear on my sheet, I think that it's all full up. But I don't know that I need to bring a tinderbox if I'm with people that can start.
Tinderbox
fire.
would be a small item, so it wouldn't count.
Okay, great.
Anything that kind of fits, in the palm of your hand that you can close your hand over, you don't have to count.
That's nice. I'm gonna bring 20 arrows, which are 10 a slot, so that's 2 of my slots gone. And then for rations, 1 ration of food and water. Do I just fill the rest of mine?
One ration. Because food and water, is that like 1 slot? Like 1 ration?
Yeah, it's 1
of
each.
food and water, or is it 1 each?
Well, it says
1 each.
1 each, yeah.
But I've got 6 slots, I'm not going to have anything.
Right, so 2 slots food, 2 slots water, maybe we find a cache somewhere. Because I already have a weapon. I have my longbow, and then I'm bringing arrows for my longbow, and then I already have armor on. So I'm already wearing my leather armor. So I'm just gonna bring rations, I think.
So it'll take you about 40 hours to walk there.
Yeah, that seems like a perfect amount of rations for 40 hours of travel.
Now you can hunt along the way, you can do things like that, so you don't have to have, the idea being that, you may try to hunt first and then hopefully you don't have to use up your ration.
Better to have rations just in case, huh?
While you are doing this, you will, Lucien, whilst you're at home packing, there'll be a knock at the door and you will sense Rowan's presence, and when you open the door, she'll be like, "Is that why he wasn't talking to you then? He knew he was about to do this to you."
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny, isn't it? You told me it wasn't all my responsibility, and now it kind of is all my responsibility again.
It's not all your responsibility. There are others with you. It's not up to you to take all of it on your shoulders. You have to learn to trust the others and to rely on them as much as they rely on you.
Trust. I thought I trusted them. Most of them. I thought I did, but I don't know. I don't.
If you don't, you'll have to learn again. I thought this might be useful, and she hands you a quiver of arrows. She opens it up and she says, "The ones notched with the ones with the red feathering are firehead arrows. They will ignite upon hitting something and set it ablaze. The 3 with the blue fletching are thunderhead arrows. They won't do much damage per se as an arrow, but they will explode."
Good distraction, at the very least. Thank you, Rowan.
I hope they help. So you have 6 firehead arrows, which do +1 damage and can set fires, and 3 thunderhead arrows, which don't do base damage but create a 2d10 explosion and have a +1 gear die.
Yeah. You'll send me that later.
And you don't have to count them in your items.
Okay, cool. I'm also gonna in my pack, I've sort of tied the stick that Nell gave me. I've sort of attached it to my pack. Just like, fuck it, I might as well bring this as well.
And Rowan says, I know we haven't completed your training yet, but you should know that as a green warden, you are tied much more closely to the green than even the root witch is. If the green speaks to you, listen to it. It will guide you and help you.
Yeah.
It may not seem like it at times. It may ask you or tell you to do things that seem not appropriate to what's going on, but green knows. And you're part of it now.
I'm not a knight, Rowan.
I'm certain the Green Knight was not a knight when he began either. There's certain things, much like trees, that you grow into.
I just want to grow into not having to fear for my life. I think I would be content with that, I think. But like you said, maybe I'll take to it.
I'm sure you will. And take the cat with you, would you?
Well, but I don't think the cat will stick
It's
around.
the Pine Martin.
Well, Thistle's coming. Of course I'm bringing Thistle. I
would
can't
hope so.
exactly leave Thistle here. But,
Soul Wars RPG International, thank you so much for the raid. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you very much. Hope you had a great game tonight, or whatever it is you were doing on your channel. Hope you had a great stream. We are playing Dark Roots of the Earth, which is a homebrew game of mine. And the players are about to head off on a dangerous journey, because that's what you do. Fun.
that's what I do.
You, Kurt, are busy preparing your pack and closing your things, and similarly, you get a little knock at the door, and when you look out the window, you see Amber, the blacksmith of the village, standing outside.
Let me hang on just a moment, please. Yes. Oh. Hello, Amber.
Hi, Max. I heard that you're leaving us.
Yeah, for a short jaunt, hopefully.
You'll be mostly crossing the moors. The water there is not fit to drink, but I thought perhaps this might help you. I had a vague remembrance of an item from long ago in memory, and she pulls out this metal tube, and she goes, I've managed to create this thing. You see, it uses a charcoal filter. I call it a britter. It uses a charcoal filter.
Oh,
at the center here.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
When you
Yes.
pour water in this end, it will purify it and it will come out perfectly fine to drink.
It won't taste good, but yes, it is perfectly fine to drink. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I found that water that I purify this way usually lasts me twice as long.
Okay. That's very good to know. I thank you.
I thought you might find this useful on your journey through the moors.
Yes. Yes.
He hands it to you. Is it true that you're going to the ruins of Efferwick?
It would seem so. Yeah. Yep.
A few years ago, there was a man who came through the village, traveling north. He didn't stay very long. He was chased out soon, but He told tales of having gone to Efferwich. He spoke of things living in the ground there that were not human or animal and very dangerous. He said that there was a deep humming at the center of the city, deep in the ground, and the closer one got to the humming, the more of these creatures one would encounter. He advised against going near that humming. He did say that there were many ways in and out of the ruined parts of the city and the undergrounds, and he left this behind. And she reaches into her bag and she pulls out this big ring of metal keys. Unfortunately, I don't know which key opens, but he said that some of the doors that lead further underground cannot be opened with anything but these.
Well, thanks to the law of probabilities, so long as we're not under duress, we should be able to figure it out fairly quickly, I would hope.
Nonetheless, I'd bring someone who can work locks, as you may not be able to depend on these.
That would probably be pretty advisable. I would imagine Grayson probably knows their way around a lock or two. And thankfully they're coming.
I wish you the best of luck, and if you find anything interesting that doesn't look too dangerous, you can always bring it back and we'll look at it together.
I want you to have something.
No?
Just in case.
What is it?
Next to Rebecca, it's probably my most prized and treasured thing that I have here in my home. And hopefully it will it'll help you. It's got good things in there. And I think he goes and he, like, in this place of, like, reverence almost, right? He opens it, and then there's, like, this picture of, like, Nikola Tesla in there. Like, it's almost like an altar, right? Okay. And you see it, like, bound with, like, copper along, like, two metal poles that should have, electricity arguing between them, but they don't, right? But at the base of it is a, like, dust-covered book, right? With homemade cloth ribbons put into it, right? And he picks it up and he blows the dust off of it and hands the book to her. And it is a 9th grade applied sciences book.
Where did you get this?
Grayson found it and said that it looked like it might be useful. There's a lot of waterlogged pages in there, but there's still some very good information in there that you might be able to extract for your various taskings that you perform. But it's brought me comfort these past months, and it's led me to believe that there's a magic that we humans possess that nature never can.
It is like flipping through an old grimoire of sorcery or something. I don't even know what half these words mean. What is 9-volt voltaic?
It is, from my understanding, it is a level of power that we as humans can harness to ensure that our creations, not the creations of nature, function.
You think this is why the trees and the plants killed us?
Because we were more powerful than them, yes.
I will hide this and keep it safely until your return.
Should I not, though? Read it, understand its teachings, and maybe you can succeed where I failed.
Thank you. This is a wonderful gift. She gives you a big hug and she says, I will keep an eye on Rebecca for you while you're gone.
Thank you. Could I ask one thing of you, though?
Of course.
If these odd superstitions are to be believed, and while we're out there, Grayson and several of the wardens always carry these iron nails around with them. Could I get a few from you?
Yes, of course. I'll have to run to the shop, but I'll bring you back a handful.
I'd appreciate that very much so.
Well, I'll do that right now.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And she tucks away the book under her apron and she nods to you and she takes off, heading down back towards her shop. And at that same time, Grayson, you have finished packing your bags and are exiting your house and are wondering whether you should lock the door or not. It's never been a question before. When you hear a voice, not too far, that says, I asked around, and there's no word even from the rovers about any slua being sent here. So I don't know whence that one came from.
You owe me a piece of cheese.
And as you say that, a little chunk of smoked Gouda flies from his hand towards you.
I catch it deftly and just eat it. So, no slua around, but... So where'd that one come from? Isn't there some sort of, like, boundary or block or something that makes it so they can't get in?
Don't keep any shadows around.
Right. So when we were doing this big fuck off ritual where all of the lights had to be off and someone left the light on.
Well, you leave the door open, the devil will find his way in.
Seems to be the case. So, what can you tell me? Have I packed the right things? I feel like a babe lost in the woods. And there's this damn cat somewhere in the alley.
We're gonna need to invest in rats just to get rid of the cats. He says, this kind of adventure, I find that packing 100 things or packing just one thing or packing nothing eventually comes out to the same thing. There's no way of knowing what you're gonna know. Make sure you have some water and some food, and here, take this with you. And he hands you a little bundle of leather that's kind of wrapped together, and when you unwrap it, you see that's a number of little metal tools. It's like those will help with things like locks or traps or mechanical devices and such.
This is brilliant. Thank you very much.
I thought perhaps you might use this also. However, I should warn you that you'll only be able to use it the once. And he reaches under his cloak and he pulls out what appears to be a knife, but it looks made of like black gray smoke. And as he holds it, the smoke kind of spills between his fingers and wraps around his hands and whatnot. And he hands it over to you. He's like, that will kill just about anything you put it to, but once you do it, it will disappear. So use it very wisely.
I love a one and done sort of thing. Thank you.
I'm
So
not
this would-
kidding. It is the weapon of the Slua. It will absolutely kill about anything you hit. So be mindful.
Thanks. I'm not going to ask how you got it, but appreciate it nonetheless.
He leans in. I wasn't always just a mild-mannered, mercantile maven.
You and your alliterations and your weird beard.
What's wrong with my beard? I quite like it. I'm told it's quite fetching.
Fetching for some, I'm sure.
Not my fault that you don't have any teeth.
Giving you a hard time. That's our whole thing, isn't it?
Be careful out there. The information I get from the rovers is that there's a lot happening. A lot of pieces are moving on the board. There is a lot of chatter in the shadows and amongst the Fae. Something momentous is on the verge of occurring. And it seems like you have a part to play in it, so watch your surroundings.
It's like I said. I feel like a child. Like I have no idea what I'm doing, or if this is right, or like being called for a kickball and thinking it couldn't possibly be me. Now, could it?
What matters isn't what you're capable of doing, but whether or not you can do. And I read that on a matchbook somewhere.
I'm sure.
Speaking of which, he hands you a matchbook.
Oh, thanks.
No problem.
The Dirty Seagull. Huh.
Fine establishment.
Well, wherever you're lurking, I'm sure it's got certainly a reputation.
Do not tell the Fae your real name, and do not accept any presents from them.
Oh, don't worry. I already know not to do anything like that.
Well, hopefully you learn your lesson this time.
Right, I should get going.
See you when you come back.
Yeah. If I come back. If not, you can go through my stuff and take whatever you want.
You have nothing, do you?
I've got fucking nothing to my name. So, have at it.
What about that cat?
If you can get her, Jesus Christ, I don't know where she is.
Good luck out there. And he heads off, whistling, as always, one of his old show tunes. And with a lot of you gather at Maxwell's house, you have heard whispers that Danae is awoken and is coming. Also, Edith has gone to get her, and they're on their way over. But for a moment, the three of you find yourselves at the house. Nell is there with Rebecca. Rebecca is not awoken again since she last spoke to you, but Nell seems to be taking good care of her, and she promises to you that she will continue to do so. As the three of you wait for Danae and Edith to arrive, is there anything you want to say or do?
I think, like, once everybody's, like, there waiting at the house or whatnot, Maxwell would, like, go to each and every one of them in turn, and you'd see him, like, open, like, a small, like, little leather-bound, like, little book type thing, and he would pull out a piece of wool and a needle, and he would hand the pair to each of them, to each person. It's so you don't lose your way.
Thanks.
He sets out a bowl and fills it with water and then like basically pulls like a leaf from outside, and then he rubs the needle with the wool a few times and sets it down. And then the needle will, of course, point north. That's north. That's south.
That's pretty brilliant. Good tracking skills. Isn't that good, Lucien?
Yeah, it's great. Lucien's not looking at you, man. She's not looking at you.
He doesn't. He's like the science of the magic of humans.
Yeah, she's
Science.
Lucien's like kind of. You do this little demonstration, and she sort of sees it, says that, moves away, sort of like opens the curtain again so that she can look at Rebecca. And it's just not. She's real quiet.
Look, let's all just not get killed. All right? I think we're about to walk into something that maybe we just don't really know how to handle, and I just don't want any one of us to die. Okay?
Oh, I have no doubt at least one or two of us isn't going to make it back. That's just a statistical probability. However, it doesn't mean that if someone were to die, they need to die in vain, and that those who are left behind, if from those who do pass, are ill-equipped or don't understand, things that they can use to, make their way back. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, take what you need.
For what it's worth, there are some things I do know about where we're going. And there are things to help us get there safely. I'm not very good at reading people, Lucien, but I'm pretty sure a blind person could read you right now.
Yeah, what you reading, Max?
Displeasure. Fear. Doubt.
Well, you've just got me all figured out, haven't you?
I wouldn't say that. That's why I'm there questioning.
I don't know, Max. I don't think you actually want to know anything that you don't already understand.
Well, no, I'm curious by nature, so if I don't understand it, I want to know more.
All right. Understand this. I have spent the better part of the last 48 hours blaming myself for what's happened to your kid. And it was your fault because you didn't listen to me. And now I'm about to go on a quest with you. And I can't trust you to not do things your way. Because you don't believe in any of this. And I am not superstitious. I have kept myself apart from a lot of the beliefs of this place. But even I know, undeniably, that our lives are touched by magic. Whether that magic comes from the Fae or from gods or from ourselves, it doesn't really matter to me. But you can't just discount it because it isn't natural or science or whatever else. So, yes, Max, I'm displeased. Yes, I'm afraid. I'm doubtful. But most of all, I don't trust you. So,
Well, that's the beauty of it. You don't have to trust me. Because I trust you. So, that's all that really matters. Because ultimately, I'm more than likely not going to make it back. I'm not equipped for life beyond my lab, beyond my home, beyond what this place offers. What I do have, though, is I have knowledge and I have awareness and skills that will keep you going. So while you may not trust me because I made a mistake that I owned, it took me a little while because I didn't quite understand necessarily the full implications of it, but I owned it. More specifically, I owned it to you.
should I be grateful?
No, but I do think that perhaps you judge a little too harshly.
Do I?
Yeah.
Yeah, perhaps you would think so, given that you're to blame.
Now,
That I'm to blame for what?
listen,
So no, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It honestly is. It's okay. It's better that this comes out now than it does when we're somewhere lost in the woods and we have talking deer and giant carnivorous horses chasing us down.
Yes. Yeah. No. No, it is better that things come out when you want and your way, Maxwell.
Well, no expedition has ever gone successfully when there are other things that are lingering. Is it right?
we're not even on the expedition yet, but let's just agree that Maxwell fucked up and it fell on Lucien's shoulders, and here we are, and we've got to go fight this thing. Can we all agree to get along enough to survive?
Oh,
Yeah.
I fully expect to agree. However, I'm just pointing out that while she's angry with me, and rightfully so, if you're...
If it's rightfully so, then why do you keep trying to logic your way out of it, Max?
I'm not logicking.
You are.
No, I'm not.
You're telling me.
I'm trying to understand how you
You're-
can still be angry when we just stood before what amounts to a talking tree that has said that this is all pretty much inevitable.
Because I just am. I just am angry. The knowing, the understanding, it doesn't change how I feel. That's not how it works. That's not how I work. Maybe it's how you work, but it's not how everybody else does. Everyone works in their own way. I'm angry. I'm angry because I was told to do something and I did it to the best of my ability, and you went behind my back. It doesn't matter. Yes, it was a mistake. No, you couldn't have known what would happen. You still did it. I asked you to do one thing. And you couldn't do it because you're so stubborn and set in your beliefs.
You mean like you?
What beliefs do I have? I do what's asked of me. I've done what you've asked of me. I've taken care of your daughter. And I asked you to do one thing, one night, and you couldn't do it. Because you were thinking that it didn't matter. It doesn't matter that you don't believe in it, Max. You should have not done it because I asked you to. Because you're my friend. Because you care about me, in my opinion. Because I asked you to do something and you just couldn't do it. So no, I know ultimately what's happened isn't your fault, but I'm still angry with you for not doing what I asked, for not just not listening to me.
But I did
You
listen
don't-
to you.
No, you didn't. You know you didn't.
But I did.
You didn't. I'm not having this argument with you anymore. You're just going to have to accept that I'm angry and that it's going to take me some time to get over that. But that's my burden to carry. I'm not going to put the mission in jeopardy because of it.
Are we not getting along yet? Says Edith as she comes up to the lot of you.
No, I'm sure your being here will help immensely.
Well, I'm sure I'll be of some use somewhere along the way. Nevertheless, we're almost ready to go. You all have your things. Danae will be here with us momentarily. It's a few days' march across the moors. We will listen to our Green Warden along the way to guide us through it. We will do what we can to succeed and save ourselves and the village and Rebecca. All right? And as she turns to see Danae coming up to the rest of you, Lucien, in your head, you hear a voice you've not heard before, and you realize it is this deep, sonorous voice of the Green. And as you watch Danae approach and the others around you putting up their packs on their shoulders and getting ready, you hear this voice say, "Fear not, Green One. The king returns and watches over you. You will survive. You will return. You serve the king." And on that note, my friends, we will end tonight's sessions because we're going to wait for Ava. Before we set off across the moors, which I'm sure will be fine. I think it's going to be great.
Perfect.
In every way. It's never gone
In every
badly.
way.